Alright, greetings and welcome aboard to the Heavy Metal Truckers. We are your hosts. I am Pincushion and this is Doppler. In this video we are going over the latest track from Behemoth. One that has been captivated in controversy because of how quote-unquote cheesy it is, and honestly I could not give two shits less. Like honestly, if you're that like just
hey, depending on how you do it, cheese can be good. Last video proved that.
That was true. No, this track is called "The Shit of God," and again, in comparison to what they released, like during the Demigod era, Evangelion era, their track listings were, you could say, more intricate or more just sophisticated, but I don't blame them at this point. After so many years, you're just like, who cares? Just give it a name. Explain what it is. Move on with life. Does it really need to be that much of a big deal? Like, seriously. So yeah, we are going to get ready to check out the new single from Behemoth. Let's see what everyone thinks.
Hello. There we go.
Nice. I can do things.
Eat my flesh, drink my blood. I am the shit of God.
Alrighty. There we go. Take your time.
Oh, are you ready for me?
Yeah.
So, I can just see a kid going around after their parents listen to this going, "We are the shit of God."
Yeah, I know.
But no. So, first of all, the music video. I feel like watching the music video from the Tuna Coil song that we did just before this kind of did a disservice to this music video, because I feel like if I hadn't just watched that, I would have enjoyed this music video more. Talking about the video itself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was a decent music video. When you can, it didn't quite hit that same level.
No.
Musically though, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought musically it had a really good tempo. It sounded good. I liked a lot of the layering they used. Like musically, I thought it was great. Like it's something that I could listen to with no problem. Lyrically, I will admit it was kind of cheesy. I can see where the cheesy came from. Matter of fact, the very first time when he went through it, said, "I am the shit of God," it immediately took me back to Avatar's Valley of Disease when he goes, "I am projectile vomit."
Oh god, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah. So I can see where people, felt that it was a little cheesy because the lyrics were a little cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like there was still a little bit,
You're breaking up pretty bad.
Really?
Or
There?
yeah,
Hello?
like the video would
That better?
your video would signal, your video would like halt, and then all of a sudden your audio would cut out, but it seems to be okay right now.
It seems to fix now. Okay. I don't remember what the last thing you heard me say was, but
It was talking about like just about it being a little bit cheesy, which I'll go more in depth on my part.
yeah, and even though it was a little cheesy, I also felt like there was a little bit of a message there.
There absolutely was. And I'll get to it later.
But I mean, overall, it was actually fairly decent. Like I said, I wouldn't say I overall loved it, but I
Mhm.
did enjoy it. Like it's not something I would be opposed to listening to again by any means.
Right.
And like I say, if I had the album, I wouldn't consider it a skippable song.
Yeah.
And again, with Nurgle, for the most part, typically I can understand them, which is always a plus.
Absolutely.
As you know, for me, if you got harsh vocals, I've got to be able to understand you. If I can't understand you, then I'm not interested in you.
Well, yeah, exactly. So what I will say is, in comparison to their last record or two, this is far, far better in my opinion, and it's like a toe dipping back into their older material, like Satanist era, which is one of my favorites aside from Evangelion. However, I will give the context of this. If this track had been released around at least 15 years ago in the States, people would be feeling a lot different about it, I believe. Because we have to consider the context and the perspective of how life is in Poland, even in this day and age. In the States, religious freedom is something that's like, okay, well, you got a Jew down there, you got a Christian over there, and you have a Muslim there. They're all going into the bar, they're chilling, they're enjoying their life. And
Right.
no one bats an eye. But over in Poland, it is still heavily ruled by Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the politics in every aspect of life is ruled by Catholicism. And so whenever you have a monopolized particular religion that's running every part of your life, similar to how pretty much everything started to occur during the Cold War here, whenever we began to put in God we trust on the money, and all of a sudden we're gonna believe in God all of a sudden because good Lord knows what's gonna happen in this war, and we're all gonna get fucking nuked in like the next day or two potentially, even like whenever we're just learning in school. But it's that kind of thing where, yes, we have the freedom. You have the freedom to be like just Christian, Satanist, Jewish, whatever here in the States, and no one bats an eye. But it's not like that over there to this day, and they are pushing for religious freedom constantly, but there's always pushback. So Behemoth has always will be activist for religious freedom, not just Satanism. It's just the freedom from tyranny. And whenever like what's the biggest way to be able to bring morale to your fellow comrades or your fellow group? It is to just have a sense of community. And this is what Nurgle is saying. I am the shit of God. We are all the shit of God because we are everything that the religious pious loathes and calls the dirt under their feet. And so for him to be essentially have this mass following and him saying, I am the shit of God, he's basically going, I am, like, we are all in this. We are all in this together, but we might be the shit of God, but we are one, essentially. And we are one, and everything that they mention that they're so great at, here's also where we are better than them, and we're just enjoying life. And there was also a throw in there, which I don't know how many people knew this, which in this day and age probably more people than there used to be. But the speaker, I don't know if you were aware, that was Aleister Crowley. And like that had his face in the book, and like the guy talking, that was Aleister Crowley, who started the religious philosophy. Well, yeah, it is more philosophy, but it was dilemma, which is do as thou wilt to be the whole of the law. And he was one of the biggest occultists of the, was it 1930s? I don't remember. It was way back, pretty much about 100 years ago at this point, which is wild to think. But it's been about 100 years since that philosophy was brought to the masses, and there's a lot of people that cling on to that of just full liberation. But again, because that is not really a thing in Poland even to this day, despite all the historical markers we've had in the States regarding this. Like I said, it's not like that over there. So it's context and perspectives as to why people feel like this is cheesy, and they're like, we get it, you hate God, you're a Satanist, devil's great, blah blah blah, we get it. In the States, it's per normal. Not like that in Poland. It kind of have to understand where they're coming from. But aside from the philosophy of what this is, and there are some aspects I probably got wrong on it, just because it's just what I got from it and what I understand of the current climate. Aside from that, I loved the instrumental. I loved the vocals. Lyrical content was still fairly solid for me. The video was pretty well done. Again, not quite as entertaining as like our last thing where we looked at Lacuna Coil and we like that I Wish You Were Dead. But that was more of a play. This was more performing arts and attempting to convey a message and have someone essentially almost have like a glass of wine and go, I wonder what he's saying. And there was that kind of thing where you go into an art museum, but was just a visual museum. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I do want to get this album because I am a very big Behemoth fan. Let's see. Anyway, yep. I'm wearing their live shirt that they had a couple years ago. I do want to get this album. I do want to hear more from it because I feel like this could potentially be one of the weaker tracks on it. And to be honest, I kind of hope it is because I know they have greatness in them, even far superior than this, but we'll see. Anyway, any last words?
Not that I can think of.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, then we will move on to the next one. And until then, keep rolling heavy.